Good evening and welcome to the Seth Joyner Show. The word that comes to mind is sustainability. Could or would the Philadelphia Eagles sustain winning games the way they had all season? Through 11 weeks, they did. In week 13, the chickens came home to roost. The sky's not falling, nor is the season for naught. The Birds had a bad day in every way, but they still control their own destiny, and everything they want is still right in front of them. They still, in my opinion, are one of the best teams in the National Football League, although on any given Sunday can look like they're not. After a tough stretch of games, they fell woefully short versus a rested San Francisco 49ers team. Now, we'll see what they're made of and whether they can right the ship versus their most hated rival, the Dallas Cowboys. It's time for my breakdown. The San Francisco 49ers roll into the link with plenty of rest and bravado, looking for revenge to prove that last year's NFC Championship was a fluke, and prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this time around, they were the better football team. The first two series of the games looked like the Birds were on their way to dispelling that narrative. The Niners went 6 plays and out on back-to-back punts, while the Eagles marched down the field on back-to-back 12-play drives that yielded field goals of 26 and 39 yards. After rectifying their red zone ranking from 29th early in the season to 5th coming into this game, those two drives were a telltale sign of what was to come. The defense, in large part, in my opinion, has to bear the majority of the brunt in this loss. Not only could they not get off the field on third down, 49ers were 8 for 11 on the day, they seemed to be listless, emotionless, and tired after the first two series. The tackling of the Eagles is what did them in. Between the linebackers and the secondary missing what seemed like every other tackle, the 49ers amassed an average of 11 yards of yak yards and 148 yards after contact. With the inability of the defense to control the run game, Sean Desai's hands were tied from a play calling perspective. The 49ers ran the ball versus the 4-man front and took advantage of the coverage and weaknesses versus the 5-man front. On the offensive side of the ball for the Eagles, after the opening two drives, the offense completely stalled out. The Birds, unwilling to commit to the run, put themselves in a tough situation versus one of the fastest and most aggressive defenses in the league. The team was outplayed, outcoached, and out-physical all day. It's time to turn the page and focus on the Dallas Cowboys. That's my breakdown. On the other side of this break, the Godfather, Ray Didinger, joins me to touch on some of the 49ers and look ahead to Sunday Night Football at AT&T Stadium in Dallas for a critical bounce-back game versus the Cowboys.
When you open the BetParx app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the anticipation of another face card, the thrill of an extra spin, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's all your favorite games at your fingertips. Plus, get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParx.
This is Seth Joyner, top analyst for the Birds. I've also analyzed the best auto dealerships, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda. Over 300 cars available. And right now, get rates as low as 0.9% at Davis Honda in Burlington. Plus, you'll get 2 years of free oil changes on every new and used Davis Honda vehicle. See why Davis Honda continues to win outstanding awards for sales and service, including the highest award from Honda, the President's Award. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda.
Welcome to Bridgeview Partners, where IT and business innovation merge. We're not just another tech company. We're your strategic partner in navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. Our team of experts tailors cutting-edge solutions to fit your unique needs, and ensuring your success is our top priority. Elevate your business with Bridgeview Partners. Discover the power of partnership and tech innovation today. Contact us now to experience the difference. Bridgeview Partners, where innovation meets excellence.
If you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and dependable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference. We work harder, we get things done, and we're in your corner. With financial centers strategically located throughout the greater Philadelphia region and new locations in central New Jersey, we're ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Call or visit us today to connect with a professional Mid-Penn banker. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional-grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
This segment is brought to you by Davis Honda of Burlington. Joining me now, you guys know him as the Diddy, my colleague and good friend Ray Didinger. Ray, it's always great to have you in studio with me today.
Always a pleasure to be with you, Seth.
All right, the Eagles go down in flames, and there's a lot of mixed reactions as to where this team is at the moment. Your thoughts?
Well, I thought the Eagles were in a very tough spot last Sunday, given the way the schedule had been. I just thought you had the 49ers coming off a Thanksgiving Day game, which gave them extra rest and extra time to prepare. They obviously had the motivation of the championship game, the revenge factor. The Eagles are coming off a brutal 5-quarter slugfest with Buffalo, and they're looking ahead because they still have Dallas coming up the following week. That is about as tough a regular season spot as you could possibly be. Now, everybody thought, they're at home, they've got the momentum, but it was still, to me, a very tough spot. And I just thought that the 49ers, as the fresher team, just showed it.
Right.
And I thought that everybody talked about the missed tackles by the Eagles. Well, one of the ways that you can see a team is fatigued is if they're missing tackles. And to me, I just thought this grind that they had been on caught up with them on Sunday against a very, very good and very explosive 49er team.
All right, Ray, so there's a lot on the line in that 49er game, but the loss doesn't spell doom and gloom for the team. In your opinion, what happened in the loss from your perspective, just to expound upon, what you're saying?
Well, I think the fatigue factor is part of it. I mean, it sounds like an excuse, but I think it's reality. If you look at the stretch that this team has been on, the Eagles did not play well, and San Francisco did everything they wanted to do. I thought that from a X's and O's standpoint, Kyle Shanahan clearly outcoached the Eagles' defensive staff. I mean, with the way he used his motion and his formations, some of the matchups he got, he knew the Eagles were thin at linebacker, so he worked the middle of the field just relentlessly. And on the other side of it, on the offensive side, I just look back and I just think that it seems silly to say because the score seems lopsided, but I think the Eagles made a big mistake by not running the ball more. I just think, moving forward from this point, I think they have to really take a hard look at their play calling. They've got a good line and they've got good backs. I think they need to utilize them more.
Okay, so we've been waiting all season long for this team to right the ship, if you will, in all three phases. What does this loss say about the Birds, where they are, and really, what they need to do to get things fixed down this stretch run?
Well, I don't know how much. To me, there's the obvious areas are linebacker and the secondary. I mean, the back of your defense right now is problematic. The defensive line, which is very good, can only cover up so much. And I thought that, again, the 49ers, with all the weapons they have and a really smart play caller like Shanahan, were able to spread them out and create the matchups they wanted, and then they could pretty much do anything they wanted to do. You're not going to face every team. Not every team you're facing from this point forward is going to be as good as what the 49ers are. But you have to be better than where the Eagles are. Signing Shaquille Leonard, bringing him in, I don't know how much he can help you at this point, but it's worth a shot because what you have right now just isn't good enough. They signed Kevin Bayard, and he's come in, and a good player, but you can see the problem of trying to jump into a new system at midstream. It's just hard. I mean, he's had some tough moments too. So, I mean, I know a lot of people are of the mind that, the season is lost now. Well, it's not lost at 10-2. You can, as you said, right the ship, but they have to do it starting this week in Dallas, and you're catching a very hot Dallas team that is undefeated at home.
Well, speaking of Shaq Leonard, Howie finally pulled the trigger. They got him in tow. Does he fix the linebacker problem, or is he just a Band-Aid in your opinion?
I wish I could tell you that I think it's a fix. I think it's more of a Band-Aid. But you know what? After what we saw Sunday, I'll take the Band-Aid, okay? There were a lot of times in the game against the 49ers I was looking for a Band-Aid. Okay, and now look, we all know Leonard, his history, good player, Pro Bowl player, has not been that for the last couple of years. Coming in December, how much can he help you? I don't know, but I'm willing to take the chance.
So, you alluded to it, and I'm of the opinion also that the offensive inconsistencies can be tied directly to Sirianni and Johnson's reluctance to actually run the football. Hurts has been up and down most of the season. What ails this offense in relation to last year's offense, and how do they fix it? Is it as simple as them just committing to running the football more?
Well, let's start with this. I believe Dallas Goedert appears to be on his way back, and I think getting him back in the lineup will help tremendously. I mean, last week they got nothing from the tight end position. Goddard's a very good player. So bringing him back, whatever he can contribute, he can kind of help complete that offense. I just think DeAndre Swift, I think he's too good a player to not get as many touches. Nothing against Kenny Gainwell, but there are a lot of times he's out there, and I'm just saying, why isn't Swift on the field? He's just a much more explosive player.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you need. But, I mean, to me, balance is so key in any offense. And look, the 49ers, I've said it before, they're clearly a very talented team. But one of the things about them that makes them so tough to play is how balanced they are. I mean, last Sunday, they ran the ball 28 times, they passed it 27 times. Yep. That's perfect balance. The Eagles, on the other hand, ran it 18 and threw it 45. You can't win. That's not a winning formula in the NFL.
Okay, so now moving forward, there's no let-up in the schedule for the Birds. Next up, our biggest rival, the Dallas Cowboys, who have to be drooling after the Birds lost to the 49ers and the prospect of taking the division lead. What is it going to take for the Eagles to win in Dallas, something they haven't done since 2017, and sweep the series, which they haven't done since 2011?
Yeah, people in Philadelphia don't like to admit it, but the Cowboys have kind of had the Eagles' number for the last few years, especially down there. Eagles haven't won 5 years down there. So, but this is a particularly big game. I look at the Cowboys where they are right now. Statistically, they are very good. I mean, they've scored almost 400 points already. They're scoring 40 a game every game they play at home. Their offense is absolutely dynamic in that stadium. But I'm holding back a little bit on this because here we are well into December now, and the Cowboys, for all of their statistics, still have not beaten a team with a winning record. Mm-hmm. Okay, they just haven't. And I'm not going to say they're not tested yet, but I'm not quite ready to say, oh, they've arrived.
Right.
Now, the one thing I will say is I think this is as good a stretch of football as I've seen Dak Prescott play. Mm-hmm. I mean, the last 7 games, 21 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, he's in the MVP conversation right now, and he's using his legs more now than he has in a few years. He's playing with a lot of confidence and a lot of skill. I think if the Eagles are going to win this game, it's going to have to start with that front four getting a lot of pressure on Dak Prescott and making him make some mistakes, which we've seen him do in the past. To win this game, you're going to have to get him to do it again.
Ray, I got to ask, who do you like Sunday night and why?
I think that I'm not ready to give up on the Eagles. I think a lot of people are. I mean, that was definitely, they got smacked around. I mean, they got pushed around by the 49ers. And they're going into a tough spot, but they know what's at stake here. If they lose this game, they could very well lose the number 1 seed. Mm-hmm. I still think that the Eagles, they've got a bounce back in them here. And if they do, you'll see it this Sunday. So I'm going to take the Eagles in this game, even though they're underdogs in this game. And I know Dallas has been really good at home. I'm going to ride with the Eagles for at least 1 more week.
Got you, Ray. It's always a pleasure having you on. I know the Philly faithful has missed you. Glad to see your face again. Thanks for dropping by.
Always a pleasure, Seth. Anytime.
All right. Up next, Brad Feinberg is in the house for your Week 14 fantasy and betting picks.
When you open the BetParks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the energy of being all in, the passion of a perfect parlay, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's another opportunity to win big every day of the week. Sign up for BetParks and get a welcome offer today. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParks.
This is Seth Joyner, top analyst for the Birds. I've also analyzed the best auto dealerships, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda. Over 300 cars available. And right now, get rates as low as 0.9% at Davis Honda in Burlington. Plus, you'll get 2 years of free oil changes on every new and used Davis Honda vehicle. See why Davis Honda continues to win outstanding awards for sales and service, including the highest award from Honda, the President's Award. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda.
Welcome to Bridgeview Partners, where IT and business innovation merge. We're not just another tech company. We're your strategic partner in navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. Our team of experts tailors cutting-edge solutions to fit your unique needs, and ensuring your success is our top priority. Elevate your business with Bridgeview Partners. Discover the power of partnership and tech innovation today. Contact us now to experience the difference. Bridgeview Partners, where innovation meets excellence.
JP Mascaro & Sons is a family-owned, locally operated solid waste service company in business for over 60 years. You've seen the red trucks with the blue elephant that symbolizes strength and reliability. Mascaro is different than other national brands. Like the birds, Philadelphia is home. They'll take care of all your waste removal needs. They have it all: an experienced workforce, state-of-the-art equipment, a cutting-edge recycling center, and their own disposal facilities. Call 888-MASCARO or visit jpmascaro.com.
At Mandrecchia Law, we win big personal injury cases, but we always tell our clients up front that those cases almost always hinge on how much insurance coverage people or companies have. At Mandrecchia Law, we don't sell insurance, but we're experts at helping our clients make sure they have the right insurance to protect their businesses and families. Do you have the right insurance? Most people don't. For a consultation, visit mmattorneys.com or call 610-584-0700. Mandrecchia Law, aggressive attorneys who get the job done.
This segment is brought to you by Bet Parks. Welcome back. My next guest, Brad Feinberg, you can follow him at Brad's Best Bets for not only today's picks, but for bonus picks throughout the week as well. Brad, what's good, my friend?
How you doing, Seth? Hopefully better than the Eagles are doing after that disappointing performance last week.
Yeah, they got to get it together. And you know what? Listen, as the playoff race tightens up, the betting and fantasy picks pick up as well. So let's jump into it. Let's start with the picks this week. Give me your 4 games that you like, who and what you like the most for the upcoming week.
Seth, I'm going to start with the Chicago Bears getting 3.5 points against the Detroit Lions. Look, this Bears team, Seth, their defense has actually been sneaky good, and Justin Fields has finally found a little bit of that success he had last year, especially running the ball again the way he used to. I think he's a dangerous player, and I think this Bears defense showed on Monday night against Josh Jacobs and company a few weeks ago, or about the last game they played, that they're for real, and their defense has actually been good all year. They're actually number 1 in the NFL against the run. Detroit loves to run the ball, so I say this is going to be a very, very tough, close game. Give me the 3.5 points with the Chicago Bears. Next, Seth, I'm going to take an under, Jets-Texans. Seth, it's funny. I know you played in a lot of great teams with great defenses where you get frustrated with the offense. Well, to me, this is what the New York Jets is. They have to be beyond frustrated with the offense of what they're showing. And their defense, though, has been good every single week. And they're now facing a Texans team, Seth, without Tank Dell, who's their best receiver, in my opinion, a rookie having an amazing season. They've shown nothing offensively at all. I think 37 points is too many. I think it's going to be like last week's Falcons game. I think it's going to be maybe like a 16-10 kind of game. Give me under 37. I'm going to take the Rams, Seth, against the Baltimore Ravens. Key thing here being is we're getting 7.5, that extra half point. Rams are good. I mean, they when healthy with, they have legitimate receivers, Seth, a really good running back. Stafford's still a good quarterback. It's not easy to win the game by 8 points against a quality opponent. I'm going to take an underrated Rams team getting 7.5 points. And last, Seth, I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders getting 2.5 points against the Vikings. I think this game is at least a 50-50 game. I actually think the Raiders are maybe slightly better than the Vikings, maybe by a point. I know Justin Jefferson's back, but games do land 1 and 2, Seth, and I think it's at least a 50-50 game. So I'm going to take the Raiders getting 2.5 points on Monday night.
Okay, so let's jump off on the fantasy side of things. What players and defense are you feeling for Week 14?
Well, Seth, I talked about Justin Fields, and look, quarterback-wise, he's not that high-priced. And I love, again, in these fantasy things, Seth, you get rewarded big time for quarterbacks who run, and no one runs more than him. I like him against the Detroit defense has been mediocre, and I'm saying kind when I say mediocre. Running back-wise, Seth, I like Zach Moss still. Now, he disappointed last week, okay, but he's still not being priced in the top 20, which to me is crazy. He's getting almost 100% snap share for an Indianapolis team that likes to run the ball. Plus, he gets passing yards. He'll be heavily owned, but you have to buy Zach Moss at that price. Wide receiver, Seth, I'm going to take Zay Flowers. He's not being priced in the top 25. He should be, and I'll tell you why. Look, that team without Mark Andrews, he's the clear top target for Lamar Jackson. I think he's a really good player. He should be priced, I think, at least 10 slots higher, like Zay Flowers. And defensively, Seth, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. The cheapest defense on the board is the Bears. The Bears have a good defense. I understand Detroit has a good offense, Seth, but cheapest defense, sign me up.
All right, so at the other end of the spectrum, what players in defense are you fading this week?
Well, Seth, look, I think C.J. Stroud has been Rookie of the Year, fringe MVP candidate even. He's been terrific, but this is not the spot to play him in. Again, he lost Tank Dell, his top receiver, going against a very, very good New York Jets pass defense. He's the fourth price quarterback on the board. No way, Jose. Again, you have to pick your spots in your matchups. We're not taking C.J. Stroud this week. Running back-wise, except there's always that day. I don't know, you had such a brilliant career in the NFL player. I don't know if there was a time where you're like, I'm not as good as I used to be. And you just like, that's a play I would have made. When I watch Austin Eckler now, he just looks legitimately not one step, not two steps, maybe 3 steps slower. He does not look like anywhere near the same player set that he was. Now I know why these running backs want to get paid, because when you lose it, you lose it. I think he's lost it. He's the third highest paid running back. Doesn't look anywhere near the same player to me. No, thank you. Seth, receiver-wise, this guy I don't think is shot. I think he's a great player, but something's just not right. Cooper Kupp, Seth, he's being priced still as one of the top receivers, but he's now had 6 straight games in single digits for fantasy, which is almost impossible for someone like Cooper Kupp. But I'm not paying up until he shows that he's at least back to being the Cooper Kupp that we've seen in the past. And last, Seth, defensively, Tampa Bay, third highest priced defense, and I think they're a decent defense, but not third highest price. And to me, Atlanta doesn't turn the ball over very much. In addition to that, Seth, I watched that game against Carolina because I had a big bet on Tampa Bay laying 3, which I pushed on. They're missing all their linebackers, and it showed in that Carolina game. They really struggled against the run. Hubbard had a great game, and obviously with the Falcons having good running backs like Bijan Robinson, no interest in Tampa Bay.
Brad, great stuff as always. Listen, I'm liking your picks. I think I may lay my own little 4-way parlay this week. I'll see you next week,
Seth,
my friend.
I will tell you this. In Daily Fantasy this week, I was 1 catch away from winning the $1 million prize. Woo. I was 1 catch away. Devontae Parker had a play overturned. No one wants to hear me cry, but I was close.
All good, my friend. All right, I'll see you next week, man. All right. As we wrap up the show, my closing thoughts and predictions for Sunday night's football pivotal NFC matchup, the 10-2 Philadelphia Eagles versus the 9-3 Dallas Cowboys.
JP Mascaro & Sons is a family-owned, locally operated solid waste service company in business for over 60 years. You've seen the red trucks with the blue elephant that symbolizes strength and reliability. Mascaro is different than other national brands. Like the birds, Philadelphia is home. They'll take care of all your waste removal needs. They have it all: an experienced workforce, state-of-the-art equipment, a cutting-edge recycling center, and their own disposal facilities. Call 888-MASCARO or visit jpmascaro.com.
At Mandrecchia Law, we win big personal injury cases, but we always tell our clients up front that those cases almost always hinge on how much insurance coverage people or companies have. At Mandrecchia Law, we don't sell insurance, but we're experts at helping our clients make sure they have the right insurance to protect their businesses and families. Do you have the right insurance? Most people don't. For a consultation, visit mmattorneys.com or call 610-584-0700. Mandrecchia Law, aggressive attorneys who get the job done. At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional-grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
If you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and dependable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference. We work harder, we get things done, and we're in your corner. With financial centers strategically located throughout the greater Philadelphia region and new locations in central New Jersey, we're ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Call or visit us today to connect with a professional Mid-Penn banker. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
When you open the BetParks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the confidence and underdogs covering, the tension before a clutch turnover, and the pride of a parlay paying off. It's another chance to win big with all-day action. Plus, win your first $10 bet and get $125 in sports bonus bets. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParks.
This segment is brought to you by Bridgeview Partners. Welcome back. With so much on the line, we'll find out what the Philadelphia Eagles are made of on Sunday night. The Cowboys are riding a 14-game home winning streak, and no better time for the Eagles to snap that than this week. After watching the 49ers demolish the Birds last week, the Cowboys' confidence has got to be extremely high. The Dallas defense is opportunistic, to say the least. They've turned the ball over and scored at an alarming rate, and they can turn up the heat, particularly when they have a lead. The Seahawks had them on the ropes last week, but faded down the stretch. Sean Desai and the Philadelphia Eagles will need to turn things around in quick fashion to prevent another massive offensive output by the Cowboys. Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson have to commit to running the football early to balance up the offense and find some continuity and flow. Jalen Hurts looked indecisive at times last week. He needs to get the ball out on time and in rhythm versus an aggressive defense. I'd like to see them incorporate some double moves, some option routes, and some short to intermediate passing to nullify the Cowboys' aggressive secondary coverage. Special teams, again, will play a crucial role, and I'm not worried about the punting or the field goal kicking. My greatest concern is Kevontae Turpin in the return game. He is a dangerous weapon, and Elliott needs to ensure touchbacks, and Mann needs to angle punt the ball towards the sidelines. In my opinion, this is a must-win game for the Birds, not only to lock up the division, but also the conference and the number one seed. A loss gives the Cowboys the division lead, and more important, the 49ers, the number one seed after last week's loss. One thing about this Eagles team is that they rarely, if ever, lose back-to-back games. So I expect for this team to focus, lock in, and up the intensity Sunday night and erase the 49ers' loss from their memory for now. This is the time of the year when Dallas usually falters and come undone. Although it will be a tough game on the road, I believe the Birds will bounce back with their backs against the wall. I like the Eagles in a high-scoring affair, 32-28. That's the show for tonight. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week as we look back on hopefully an Eagles win and look ahead to Monday Night Football in Seattle versus the Seahawks. Have a good night and go Birds.